Hey man, and we are live for a Friday night edition of the Dime Coverage Podcast. My name is Lincoln. I got Lee over there. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? We
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
couple more preseason games under wraps.
hmm
I think we got two going on right now. Yeah, week two. Week two
Week
started.
week two, man. I sent you something earlier today. It was a Instagram message I was looking at. I think it was was it Michael Irvin or somebody? I can't remember who it was. And I sent that because I think the media, and this is all media across the board, ESPN, it doesn't matter who it is. Everybody, I think, over the last couple of years have made their paychecks off the back of Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, when you talk about a young man that has character, he don't get in no trouble. He don't cause any issues. He don't. I mean, it's like the kid is like a stellar young man, that you look at and you're like, man, this is a respectable young man, da da da. But the amount of criticism that he comes under is unfathomable. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And it's like, and I think this is what it is. Really, truly, I think this is what it is. People know that there's a huge amount of fans that love Jalen Hurts, right? And then there's a huge amount of fans that don't like the Philadelphia Eagles and they don't like Jalen Hurts for some odd reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe because they feel like he's not the prototypical quarterback. He don't, the 5-step drops, all of this, throwing over the middle, all of this stuff like that. He doesn't. To me, it really doesn't matter. If you are a winner, you just a plain old winner. That's just what it is. It doesn't matter because think about this. Everybody always talks about, a lot of people talk about, he had this defense or he had Saquon or yes, I get it. I get it. But guess what? In order to win a Super Bowl, you got to have some stuff. You got to have some stuff. You can't just win a Super Bowl
No,
with nothing, right?
right.
Baltimore Ravens back in the day, Ray Lewis, the defense, they won it, but Trent Dilfer still had a part in that. He had to do something, right? And so I don't want to hear all of the super teams and all of this stuff like that because guess what? If you put some of these guys, and this is a hypothetical that people always do, and they always say, put Lamar Jackson on that team, put Josh Allen on that team. Guess what? They hadn't done it. Why? Because there's something internal with these guys that they can't get over the hump. It may be nerves, it may be what, I don't know what it is, but it's something why you can't get over that hump. Players aside, don't get me wrong, I understand, teams are different, but you got to have the mental fortitude in order to win a Super Bowl. And Jalen Hurts has done it. Last 2 to 4 years, he's gone to the Super Bowl. He was the people fail to realize this also that a lot of people don't talk about. He was the MVP runner up in 2020, 2022 or 23, one of those years.
Yeah.
MVP runner up. And if he would not have got injured, he would have been MVP of the league. So I don't get the criticism that Jalen Hurts gets. It's just over the top to me. And I think a lot of people just make their clicks, get their clicks, and they get paid more to talk about Jalen Hurts because I don't know what the reason is.
Yeah, I don't understand where the negativity comes from when it comes to him. Maybe it's because people see him as an easy target. He doesn't really say much. He's not loud, and I think that's really, it's admirable because he conducts himself as a leader. He says the right things. It's not all about him. He puts the team first. At least that's what he shows. And for the most part, the team that's usually around him, they support him. AJ Brown aside, right? AJ Brown aside.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but with that being said, when you look at his resume, all right, like he's not flashy, like some of the other quarterbacks. He's not like a Patrick Mahomes. He's not,
No.
like your boy with the Bills. He's not, Lamar Jackson. Like he's not as flashy as those guys, but he produces when you support him
Yeah.
adequately. And by
Yeah.
support, I'm talking about you got to give him some good coaching. Everybody needs some good coaching, and
Yeah.
and you need to give him good personnel, not just a good flashy player, but a good personnel. And that constitutes a supporting defense, offensive line, as well as some pieces on the outside in the backfield. Now the team is constructed pretty good over the course of his last several years there. No indictment there. I'm not saying that he doesn't have the personnel. He has really good personnel.
Right.
There's always been questions on the coaching with Sirianni and the offensive coordinators that you guys had shuffling in and out. When you did have a good offensive coordinator with Kellen Moore,
yeah,
you won a Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
You won a Super
Yep.
Bowl with him. And mind you, he was MVP of that Super Bowl that
Yep.
they won.
Yep.
And the Super Bowl that they lost, one would say he was the best player in that game as well.
Yeah.
When you look at the stats compared to Mahomes, who won that Super Bowl. So he has always performed adequately, more than adequately, but like at the very top when the playoffs started, and especially when you got into those Super Bowl games. So you take a look at all of that, and even though again he doesn't get the recognition that some of those other quarterbacks get that we just discussed, but imagine if some of the other quarterbacks had his resume,
man,
right?
Yeah.
Imagine if Allen for the Bills over the past 4 years went to 2 Super Bowls, lost one, won one, got a Super Bowl MVP. How we be talking about him?
Oh, come on. Yeah.
Imagine if someone that we haven't really discussed, but imagine if Justin Herbert had that resume.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. We'd be talking about both of those two quarterbacks. Well, Allen, we already talked about him. Like he has an NFL MVP on his resume, but this would just put him in the stratosphere in terms of top quarterback in the past decade for the NFL. And then had Justin Herbert over the past 4 seasons gone to 2 Super Bowls, won one, lost one, he'd be easily considered a top 5 quarterback in the league.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's yes. And I agree. It's one of those things that you give those guys that kind of accolades and they'll be in the Hall of Fame forever. They'll be in the Hall of Fame. But if you ask somebody right now, is Jalen Hurts Hall of Fame worthy based off of what he's done? When you go apples to apples, obviously if you said Josh Allen had the resume that Jalen had, they say no, he's not even close. I think, most people would want, in order for them to admit, Jalen would have to win another 2 Super Bowls and he would have to win 1 or 2 league MVPs in order for them to even start thinking maybe he got a chance to get in. So it's a big double standard, man. But I just hope he either uses it as fuel, which he probably does, because I know he hears it, every day, and then people, you probably calling him, texting him, that kind of thing, but probably use it as fuel, and that maybe that's a good thing. That's what keep him motivated.
Well, I mean, you could use it as fuel all you want. I think the problem here is well, I don't want to say the organization has failed him, because we all know how he's done a hell of a job, keeping that team competitive. So I'm not putting it on Howie per se, but I think the lack of consistency at the coaching position, specifically the philosophy of the offense over the years, changing every other year, has not done him a good service.
No.
A lot of these quarterbacks, like even Mahomes, he's always had Andy Reid. Andy Reid has been the consistent offensive play caller for that offense since Mahomes has been there. Nothing has changed. So he has that consistency there.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, right? His offensive coordinator, instead of like they promoted him to head coach. Why? Because they want to make sure that they want to make sure that they keep the offensive philosophy intact for Josh Allen.
Yep.
Okay. So it makes sense. Like if you got yourself a quarterback that is capable of winning a Super Bowl, which Jalen Hurts has already proven that he's able to do. He's gotten you there twice. He's won one. I think you would do your best to make sure that you give him as much consistency at that offense as possible, so that you can ride him out, to the end of his career.
Right.
That is your recipe for success. It's a proven success. I guess Saquon Barkley was a big contributor on that Super Bowl win that they had, or on the way to that Super Bowl. Yeah. But he got you to a Super Bowl before without Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without
without
AJ Brown.
And without AJ Brown, right? So come on, man. Just give him something. Give him an offense, a consistent offense with a really good dynamic play caller. And I think you guys would have the consistency that you would expect, instead of all of these fluctuating seasons every other year. One year you're good, the next year people want to blow it up. And it doesn't help, right, when you got people in your own fan base trying to, sabotage you and put in, little jabs here and there to like kind of sink the ship. That to me, that's so counterintuitive. I don't get that part of it either.
Me either. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's the one thing I can say, and we'll put this to bed. That the radio station in Philadelphia, WIP radio, and I think they get paid to hate on Jalen. I think I really do. I think they get paid. There's a couple guys on that station that I think if they do not say something negative about Jalen Hurts, then they don't get their pay for that week. Something in the clause.
Well, do they have an alternative?
I mean, what else can you? All you could say, you could start talking, something positive about this dude consistently, because, like we was just talking about, in a city, if this was somebody else, this dude would be celebrated. He would be celebrated. But yeah,
well, what I'm asking, I guess what I'm asking is there like some other quarterback that they have in mind that they feel can do the job better, that's available or going to be available?
They going with the same narrative as everybody. If a Josh Allen was here, or if a Lamar Jackson was here, or if it's just idiotic, because sometimes you don't know what you got until you lose it. Before Jalen Hurts was here, when did you go to the Super Bowl? When McNabb was there? That's the last time you went to the Super Bowl, and now you went 2 in the last 4 years? It's ridiculous, man. But anyway, yeah, it's ridiculous. I want to ask you a quick question before we jump on the next thing. What is your thought on the dual practices where, you practicing against the other team, another team coming in, a preseason game coming up, and y'all going against each other? Is that counterproductive, or do you think it helps out in some way?
I think it helps out a lot.
Okay.
I think it helps out a lot. And the reason why I think it helps out because then you get to put in a controlled environment your ones against another team ones. And then kind of, flesh out your plays and all that other stuff against that team. If you're doing it smartly, you would do it against a team that you don't plan on playing that season.
Right.
So you can actually kind of, dip into your playbook a little bit and start running through some of these plays and again, just go mano-y-mano. And then what that does, it minimizes the need for you to have to play those ones in the preseason game.
I got you.
That's what that's largely what the Rams have been doing in these team organized matchups.
Yeah.
The Rams, they play Stafford, they play Puka, like they are in these camps. And I think is it the Cowboys, I think, who we were playing? Not playing, but I mean practicing against.
Right.
I think it's the Cowboys, right? And so we're matching it up and we're just going at it with each other. And so by the time the preseason game starts, the ones they take a break. Yeah, the ones take a break, you put the twos on and you go through that simulation with them. But I think those practices are very much needed and I think very valuable.
That's a good take. Reason why I asked is because, I've heard some players say it really don't make sense because, well, not that it doesn't make sense, but nothing good comes out of it because, all the brawls and stuff that happen. Like you always, the brawls happen team against team, right? But they feel like it just gets heightened when, if it's not necessary in this preseason, people could get hurt. You could get hurt anytime. But what I'm saying is, it's what this player was saying was that it does not help any situation because guys are always hot headed. Obviously, you want to win, and it just takes away from you focusing on what you got to focus on. But I mean, I guess either way, you could look at it from that perspective as well. So that's a
well.
That's a
I
good
mean, so I don't know who the player was who said that. I'm pretty sure it's a young player. Okay, but you have to understand you got to practice, and you can't just with the limitations now that have been put on practice. This is the best alternative to keep these guys as sharp as the coaches need them to be before the season start. back in the day, you had something called two-a-days. The two-a-days was banned back in 2011 when the collective bargaining agreement at that time went into effect. But the two-a-days was when you practiced in the morning, full practice, you took a break, and then you came back in the evening and you did another full practice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and those fights that this player that you were talking about that he says, happens when he's practicing against the other team, those same fights was happening within the team. Right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna have they're football players, they're competitive.
Yeah.
So at some point, emotions are gonna get high, and whomever you're practicing against, you're gonna end up fighting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Whomever you're fighting against. So whether you're practicing against another team or you're just practicing against your own team, you're gonna get the emotions are gonna run up. Someone's gonna do an extra, like a couple of weeks ago, Kirk Cousins and Max Crosby.
Yep.
They had to be disciplined, right?
Yep.
Because Kirk Cousins felt like Max Crosby was being a little bit too aggressive, and Max was like, "No, this is how I practice." And then they ended up actually in an altercation. So it's gonna happen. So I don't listen to that. Like that's a player who just probably just didn't want to do it. Don't want to be in those type of practices against another team. But I think it's needed. I would rather my team go all out in a practice against another team and not against each other. Because then you're not really learning that much from within. You learn more about competing against somebody from the outside.
Yeah. It gives you a perspective, let you know, if what we're working on, what we're doing, how is this going to work?
Yeah.
Against another team. Yeah. Another live team.
And then, and also be able to get caught off guard by what that other team is doing.
What they say, they throwing at you. Yeah.
We need to look out for this and this and in these type of situations, we didn't even consider that. Maybe we need to factor that in before going into the season.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good point. Good point. Yeah, man. Yeah. So you had a list, man. You saw a list there that had the top players under 25, and you was reading that down before we jumped on the air, and I don't know how they create these lists. I don't know. I guess we got to start creating our own list. We got to start creating our own. Yeah, we need to create our own list and start pushing our lists out there. Push our lists out there. That's what we need to do, because some of these lists don't make no sense.
Yeah, we'll get a lot of hate, but no. So this one was done by The Athletic. There's a couple of them out there, but this is the one I think is the most egregious one. Right. So this one was just released by The Athletic, and it was polled by NFL coaches, scouts, and executives, and they were ranking the top 25 players aged 25 and under.
Yeah.
Okay. So this isn't actually done by The Athletic in terms of them ranking it. They polled this list from some executives and coaches. So what we have here is number one, we have Penei Sewell.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Penei Sewell was still in 25 and under.
I didn't know that either. Yeah.
But I'm not mad at it. I think Penei Sewell's a heck of a player. He's been a stout offensive lineman for the Detroit Lions these past couple of seasons. So I'm not mad at him being number one.
Yeah. I got
Number two is your boy, Jalen Carter.
Yeah. That's to be expected, man. Yeah.
I know you would love that.
That's to be expected. Yeah.
2 is a little too rich for me. I would probably put him at 3 or 4. But I can't. I'm not too mad at 2. I'm not too mad at 2. Now this is where it's going to get a little bit shaky, right? So number 3 is Brock Bowers.
Yeah, no.
Brock Bowers he's a great tight end. Had a really strong rookie season. Last year wasn't so great. People are going to blame it on the quarterback play. But the first season he had, Gardner Minshew was the quarterback when he had 112 receptions. Yeah. Last year was Geno Smith. I don't see much of a big difference between Minshew and Smith. I think going into this season, Smith is a starter for the Jets and Minshew is a backup at Carolina, maybe? Somewhere around there, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think Smith is the better quarterback. I just think the offensive philosophy in those 2 seasons differed a little bit. Well, Pete Carroll last year.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll last year.
Pete Carroll and his
But
sons.
even but even with that, like Brock Bowers at 3 is still a little too high. I would have him in the top 10, but I just wouldn't have him at 3.
Yeah, 3 is high. Too rich.
Number 4 is Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton's play has dropped precipitously since McDonald left the Ravens.
Yeah.
Kyle Hamilton has not been the premier safety he was when he first came into the league, which again wasn't that long ago, but the last 2 seasons he hasn't been up there, not in my book.
Yeah.
And I think he's had some injury issues, so you got to factor that into the equation as well.
Yeah.
The best ability is availability. So sorry, not sorry. If you're not on the field, you shouldn't be this high.
Yeah, I agree.
Number 5 is Trent McDuffie, newly acquired Ram. So now I have an affinity towards Trent McDuffie, but I don't know if I'd have him in the top 5. Top 10, but not in the top 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get ripped to shreds. I mean, he has been on 2 Super Bowl teams. Did he win 2 Super Bowls? Yes. Yeah, I think he's won 2 Super Bowls. He's been to 3, won 2 Super Bowls. Right. So let me take that back. I'll keep him in the top 5. Yeah. He'll keep him there. Number 6. Yeah. Number 6, which is a player I think should be in the top 5, Will Anderson Jr.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Top
I
5,
think
without a doubt.
Will Anderson and Jalen Carter, I think that's where I'm like that number 2, number 3 with him and Jalen. Like
they flew it.
Right.
Yeah.
So he should be up there. Derek Stingley Jr. is number 7. Okay. Puka Nacua is number 8. I would have to Puka Nacua somewhere in the top 5. Sorry, not sorry, but I think Puka Nacua is one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in the league. I know I'm going to get ripped to shreds for that, but when you look at the fact that, you know, the big playability that he has, people say he's slow, but he's running away from people. He runs over people. He blocks. He's an integral part of the run game. He does it all. Okay. And so he's a physical guy. And when you talk to other defenders who play against Puka Nacua, they talk about his physicality. They talk about he doesn't take any plays off. You got to watch. You got to keep your head on a swivel, because if it's a run game, he's going to knock your head off. So I'd have him up there. Okay.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson is number 9. He should be higher than that. He should be somewhere around that 6'5" range as well.
Bijan got to be in the top 5, man. He got to be in the top 5. If Bijan not in the top 5, you're talking about they got him as one of the top 2 or 3 running backs in the entire league, and you got him at 9. Bijan got to be up there, man. He got to be one of them guys up there.
So you would say you would have Bijan over, let's say, like a Trent McDuffie?
Yeah, for
looking
sure.
at looking at the positions and looking at where they rank at those positions. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Now, this is ridiculous to me. Sauce Gardner's number 10.
Yeah, Sauce don't even be nowhere near that.
And I understand Sauce is talented. He started off really hot. I understand he got hurt last season, but even the season before that, he wasn't that great.
No, look,
He wasn't.
we're gonna get there eventually. But there's other cornerbacks on this list that should be higher than Sauce Gardner.
Yes. And we're going to get to those cornerbacks because for some reason, these other cornerbacks are a lot lower than him, and I don't know why. Okay.
I don't make any sense.
So Sauce Gardner's number 10. Drake May is number 11. Okay.
I don't think Drake May needs to be number 11. Drake May, where I would have Drake May on this list, Drake May would be 25 of 25. 25 of 25. I understand he went to the Super Bowl. and all that, and everybody all hyped up on Drake May, right? They hyped up on Drake May. But look, hey, pump your brakes a little bit. Pump your brakes. It's all good. Remember, Patrick Mahomes was out, so you had an easy pass. If you didn't make it this year, then hey, this last year was your year. If you didn't make it, Patrick Mahomes will be back. So Drake May, pump your brakes. Look, don't get me wrong. Talented player. He got some talent. But I'm not gonna. How long has Drake May been in the league now? What's this? 2 years? 2?
He's going into his 3rd year.
This is 3rd year. Come on, man. I can't put you up there just yet, Drake. You went to the Super Bowl. I understand it. But yeah, on 25 or 25 for me, man.
Easiest path to the Super Bowl I think we've ever seen last year.
Yeah.
I know Patriots fans don't like to hear that, but it's a fact. They had a soft schedule.
So
Bo Nix got hurt before the AFC Championship game. So you played against Stidham in the AFC Championship game to get to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Lamar Jackson was hurt last year.
Yes. Josh Allen.
Yeah. So Josh Allen wasn't hurt, but he wasn't
there.
Right. But they did get knocked out. But for the most part, CJ Stroud, like, look, they didn't have a hard path to the Super Bowl.
No.
You got to the Super Bowl. That's legitimate.
Yeah.
But when you played a really good team, that Super Bowl wasn't even close.
No. And check this out.
The Super Bowl wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close.
And you wouldn't have made the Super Bowl if Patrick Mahomes was healthy. You wouldn't have made it. I promise you. Patriots wouldn't have been nowhere near the Super Bowl. So, I mean, I can't wait for this year to really, now you're playing a first place team, Super Bowl team schedule. So let's see where you at now. If you can duplicate, if you get back to the AFC Championship, I digress, man. I digress. But I know that's not gonna happen.
That ain't gonna happen. They got AJ Brown.
Like I say, I know that's AJ Brown links. Like I say, it's not gonna happen.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So you have Drake at number 11. Number 12 is Tyler Smith, offensive guard for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's a good spot for him. Number 13 is Jaden Daniels. So this is another player where started his career super hot.
Yeah.
But has since been riddled with injuries, has not been available consistently.
Yeah.
And, hasn't duplicated that type of effectiveness that he had that one season.
One season, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I wouldn't have Jaden Daniels this high.
No. He definitely, after, like you said, 1 season on, 1 season off, let's give him a third season. But, if Drake May, I push Drake May down to 25, Jaden Daniels will be 24. Right. That's he can't be that high. Not based off of last year. I mean, just
right. And you're right. And to reemphasize what I was saying, it's only been 2 seasons, so he had that one good season. Right. Last season he was injured, right? So to me, that's a very small sample size, but based on that sample size, you're like, it's like 50-50. One good, one bad.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's just not for 13. You got to be low on this list.
Yeah.
You got to be low.
Sure.
Now, he should be in the top 25 for the potential aspect of it.
Absolutely.
Right? But not this high. So you have that. And so number 14 is Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs should be way higher than this.
Way higher.
He should be higher than this.
Yeah.
And then the person after Jahmyr Gibbs should also be way, way higher than this, and that's Jackson Smith-Njigba. He's number 15.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Smith-Njigba got all the way down there.
That is ridiculous. So for everyone out there, I'm not a Seattle Seahawks hater, right? Because I think Jackson Smith-Njigba, we should also talk about, and maybe when we get on with Doc, we need to come up with our own list, but it's going to be really hard for us to fit all these good players in the top 5. Right, but Jackson Smith-Njigba is top 5 quality in terms of, best player on this list.
Yeah.
So and we need to figure that out.
This is what I say. Okay, look, I know you got ex-NFL players, you got the coaches, you got the execs, you got all of these people. I think there's still, you need a third party. You need people, you need guys like us who's kind of like, we remove from it. There's no, you got team bias and all that stuff, but we know how to throw that out, right? We know how to throw that out without the team bias and just say, okay, this is a true top 5 or top 10, because the writers, they have agendas, the coaches and execs, a lot of them have agendas. They just throw stuff out or popular players who they like or whatever. So I think stepping it away from all of that, when we create this list, this is going to be a real, true list.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for it. This is going to be interesting. I want people to when we release our list and you see it, you'll know that this is a true, real list, man. Not some of these powder puff lists that they got out there.
It's funny you talk about writers with agendas, especially from a company like The Athletic. It's not like
exactly.
We hot off a controversy with a writer who had a lot of agendas, right? So a lot, right? Anyway, we can get into that right now. So we have Jahmyr Gibbs, number 14, Jackson Smith-Njigba, number 15. We both think both of those guys should be way higher than this.
Absolutely.
And we were just talking about Sauce Gardner and other cornerbacks being better than him. This cornerback is better than him, Devon Witherspoon. He's 16. There's no way he should be. There's no way he should be this low if Sauce Gardner is number 10. No way.
Yeah, come on, man.
Right? You need to flip them. Right?
Yeah.
And then even with that, the next cornerback under Devon Witherspoon should also be above Sauce Gardner, and that's Quinyon Mitchell. There's no way Quinyon Mitchell should be 17 and
No,
Sauce Gardner
no
is
way.
10.
No way.
Okay.
Quignon got to be up
Right.
there, man. Come on.
So Quignon is 17. Number 18 is Cooper DeJean. You got a lot of Eagles on this list.
Hey, that's it.
What
Can you say, man?
what's going on here?
What can you say? Can you say? But Cooper DeJean, look,
Cooper
he
DeJean.
he deserved to be on the list. You know, really instinctual player, really somebody. I think he needs to be. He could have been somewhere around 13, 14 for me, in my opinion. I think he could have been in that range. They got him just a little bit too low. I think he could have been he could have been up there. He's you know, he picked off Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, man. That's a big feat. But
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think they could have moved him up a little.
Right. Even if you kept not Quignon, but Cooper DeJean 18.
Yeah.
I'm thinking him and Sauce Gardner.
I mean, I
got to think about that. I got to think about that.
That's a good debate. That's a good debate.
That's a good debate. I
We
don't know
don't
if I
have
would
to
put him
go and
above
really
Sauce
truly
Gardner.
break that down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 19 is CJ Stroud.
CJ. Yeah, CJ.
Right.
Yeah, CJ.
And so where this differs from our take on Jaden Daniels with the small sample size, with just the 2 seasons, we got a larger sample size with CJ Stroud, and I still haven't seen him do or duplicate the effectiveness that he showed when he was a rookie, and he's going into his 5th season.
Yeah. This
right. So
yeah.
The
thing with CJ, you know,
4th season.
4th season. The thing with CJ
4th season.
is last year with the Houston Texans and that defense and how they was carrying on, CJ held this team back. He held the team back. If CJ was operating like how he did in his rookie season, my goodness. I mean, let me tell you, and they still going to be scary again on the defensive side. If CJ could figure it out and get back to where he was, then, you know, let me ask you this. You may know this. I know you go into these details. Who was his offensive coordinator rookie season and now? Because that's
his name. Hold on. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
So it was Bobby Slowick.
Gotcha.
Slowick was the offensive coordinator in his first season. He was also the offensive coordinator in the second season, and they got rid of him mid-season.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And the offense hasn't really been the same since. Now, I think Slowick ended up being a scapegoat. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think his offensive philosophy. I think they had a bad offensive line. That was the issue. But now, where is he? He's with the Dolphins now. So the Dolphins hired him.
Slowick is the offensive coordinator, or he's the head coach?
He's a passing game coordinator. Wait,
well, what is Petula?
Nope. He's he was the passing game coordinator last year. He's the offensive coordinator this year.
Okay, they elevated him to offensive coordinator.
They elevated him. Yeah.
Still gonna be tough.
He was the OC. So they need to figure that out. But regardless, CJ Stroud, man, that rookie season when he threw for 4,000 yards, 23 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions. Since that season, his interceptions spiked, right?
Yeah.
So 2024, he had 12 interceptions. Last year, he had 8 interceptions. And then we saw how many interceptions he had in that playoff game.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Right? His last playoff game, that was 4? So
that was brutal.
You need to figure that out. Yeah, so he is going into his 4th season, not his 5th. He's going into his 4th season. So we have a larger sample size with him, but he should be on the list. However, I would put him at near the very bottom of this list.
So for me again, that with CJ, I would put CJ at 25. Then I got Drake May at 24, Jaden Daniels at 23. You know, they got it. That's how
I see what you're saying. Yeah. So after CJ, we got Jared Verse at 20.
Okay. All right, Jared Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
he could be high.
I think he should be in the teens, to be honest with you, not 20. But that's a little low for me. Devon Achane is 20. No, sorry, I skipped someone. So 21 is Caleb Williams.
Ooh, boy. Yeah, they got him far. They got him all the way.
21. As a matter of fact, of all the quarterbacks on this list,
he's the lowest.
He's the lowest.
That's ridiculous.
That'll make no sense.
Yeah, that don't make any sense. Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, the person who the I don't know who these executives were who wrote this. I mean, or who was polled. Let me tell you, I don't know, because you got Drake May, you got Jaden Daniels, and who else was it? Drake May, Jaden Daniels. Was it a third quarterback who
CJ
was over?
Stroud.
And
CJ Stroud.
over Caleb Williams? Come on, man. You gotta be. No way.
Right.
No way. I can't see it. I can't see
Right.
it.
So
I
when you kind of compare Caleb Williams to CJ Stroud, right? Let's see now. Let's take a look at this.
That's no comparison right now.
Because no, really is not. But when you look at Caleb Williams, his rookie season, hold on, let me just take him out of this comparison analysis. Look at his rookie season.
Yeah, rookie
season.
season.
So his rookie season, all right, he threw for 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Okay. Caleb Williams. And when you look at the ineptitude of the coaching staff he had,
that was horrible. Yeah, Chicago.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
He went through what, 3 offensive coordinators in one season.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
And he put up these numbers.
Yeah. That was a dump.
And then we all saw what happened last season when he had Ben Johnson.
Right. Big difference.
So yeah, big difference, man. So I don't understand how Caleb Williams is that low. That makes absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
Okay, so he's number 21. Devon Achane is number 22. That's fine.
Yeah. That's
Darnell Wright, offensive tackle for the Bears. He's number 23. That's fine.
Yeah.
Drake London, the wide receiver for the Falcons, is 24.
Yeah, I would have put Drake. I would definitely.
He should be higher.
Drake. Yeah, Drake.
He should be higher.
He needs to be up there. Yeah,
he should be higher. And then number 25, they have George Pickens. He should be higher.
He should be higher too. Yeah,
he should be higher, right? So we already talked about who should be at the bottom.
Yeah, George Pickens should actually be higher than Drake London, right? So you know.
Yeah.
If you're looking at even when he was in Pittsburgh and coming to Dallas and what he did there, I mean, he definitely need to be. He should have been up there. He could have been up there for sure. You know, he pretty much, you know, when CeeDee Lamb was out, the team was on his back, right? I mean, he carried the team last year when, you know, so he definitely did what he was supposed to do. But yeah, man, I don't know. That's kind of ridiculous with that list.
Yeah. So like you said, like those quarterbacks you riddled off, I think they should all be at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
This with CJ Stroud and Drake May and
Jaden Daniels.
They should be at the bottom. And then these guys, right? George Pickens, Drake London, Caleb Williams, they should be bumped up, man. There's no way. Again, Drake London and George Pickens, they shouldn't be scraping the barrel here. They shouldn't be at the bottom.
No way.
They shouldn't be at the bottom here like that. So
yeah, no way. Yeah, we
need to redo the list.
Yeah, we got to redo it. We got to redo it. So look, stay tuned. We got some lists coming out. Because it's getting ridiculous. I understand you got ESPN and you got The Athletic and you got all these people, right? But you need a third party. You need somebody. You need some guys like us who we're not going to be biased. We're going to tell the truth. We going off of stats. We going off of, you know, what they've done. We going off of injury, like you say, Lee, availability. We going off all of this stuff. And we're going to give y'all some real, true lists because it's too much bias out there. You know, you really don't know who to listen to. So I'm looking forward to creating these lists, man, and getting these out here so we could we could get these circulating.
And for people who think that we're crazy, saying, oh, you know we talking about, and these are executives and coaches running these lists. There's another list out here, right? You can go look it up yourself with CBS Sports, right? They got Bijan number 1, Puka number 2, right? They have Jackson Smith and Jigba is number 5 on their list. Caleb Williams is number 7. Okay, so these are the players we were just talking about who should be higher.
Exactly.
Right? And so you got other reporters out there who, and I think they're reaching out to other. This is what I want to know, right? Because everybody's saying that they're reaching out to coaching staffs and executives. And all
they
these
reaching out to,
and they coming up with completely different lists.
Right.
Right.
They you know, that's a good point. They're not reaching out to anybody. They just say that. That's just like us saying we reached out to some coaches and some execs. You're just writing that on the thing, man. There's no way.
Yeah. But I think, let me see. I think I think the writers, I think they did this themselves.
Hey,
Right? And if they did this themselves, I like this list better than
the
one from The Athletic. Yeah.
Check it
But
out.
you know what, Links? I don't trust The Athletic. I don't think they reach out to any executives.
No, the Athletic didn't reach out to any.
They didn't reach out to no coaches.
If you had Diana Rossini on your staff, you didn't reach out to nobody.
I think this was probably one of the last articles she did on.
Check this out. Hey, this is where if they sent this to any execs, because every list that come out, they say execs did it, right? So So you in corporate America where you have to take the test, right? The sexual harassment and all of those tests that you got to take, because you got to answer these questions and boom, boom, boom. Then you got to go through the list and all that. I don't know if you had to take any of those before, in corporate America. But anyway, people don't listen to those lists. You know what? You got to take the test, so you got to watch the whole video before you answer the questions.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. The HR stuff.
Nobody even worrying about it, and that's how the execs look at these when they send them. They just be pressing buttons.
Boom,
they
boom,
just
boom,
say
tick,
boom,
tick,
boom, boom,
tick,
boom,
tick.
boom. Yeah,
Yeah.
tick, 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 tick. Yeah, that's how they look at this, man. Because there's no way that they could literally sit down and say, an exec really participated in that. Those guys are smart.
Lazy reporting. Lazy reporting.
And
the thing is too, and they got some people on this list that the Athletic don't even have on there. They have Colston Loveland on this list, Joe Alt. Right now, Joe Alt was out all of last season, so I kind of get that. But still,
I
like
that might
this
be a
list
little bit more
better.
legitimate list there.
Yeah,
but
all
right.
Man. Christian Gonzalez.
Christian Gonzalez, you got some fellas. Don't worry, we get into it. We're gonna publish this out. We're gonna publish out a couple of our lists and get them out there in the atmosphere, man, in the web sphere, so people can see it. Yeah, man. Oh, we'll get to it. We'll get back on. We jump back live on Tuesday. So make sure y'all tune in Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be back on. Just check us out on the platforms, man. Dime Coverage Podcast. Check us out on all of our platforms, Dime Coverage Podcast, and look forward to Tuesday, man.
All right. See you on Tuesday.
All right, man. All right. Later.